Welcome to this week's A Story to Tell with me, Richard Beauvoisin. This was an interview I did on Radio Bath, and the interviewee was James Lowther from Truespeed Broadband, a local company in Bath that's looking to help lots of local communities, halls and schools as well. Really fascinating chat. Hope you enjoy. There's Carly Rae Jepsen and Your Type. I always remember Call Me Maybe by Carly Rae Jepsen. First time I've heard anything else from her for quite a while. Right, so we're here with the lovely James Lowther. I'll try and get it right. Good morning, James. How are you?
You got that spot on, Richard.
Did I? That's all good then. So, he's CEO of Truespeed, which is a broadband internet provider, and we're going to have a chat with him over the first hour or so to find out all about broadband, all about the impact that the company's having in the area, and also a bit about James as well. So James, tell us about yourself. How did you become CEO of Truespeed?
Very good. Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you for having me in today. So I became Truespeed's CEO back end of 2021 to take the company out of startup mode into scale-up mode. So my background, I've worked in telecoms my whole career. I ran the Swedish equivalent of Virgin Media, their consumer team. Okay. So I've brought all of that experience to help kick on with Truespeed into the next phase of its growth.
Okay, and how is Truespeed going?
It's going very well. So we're accelerating everything rapidly at the moment. So we just passed 70,000 properties that we can connect up to our network. We've now got 15,000 customers. So if I use a Spinal Tap reference, we're in the process of dialing everything up to 11 at the moment. So we're recruiting like crazy. We're speeding up the build. We're connecting more and more customers every single month.
That's amazing. And based in Bath as well?
Yeah, just down the Lower Bristol Road, not too far from your studios here. So it was a slightly longer walk than I expected. So I'm a little bit warm, but it was right here in the centre of Bath.
No, you're all looking good. It's now I was looking on your website the other day about how Truespeed itself is quite different to the other internet providers, isn't it?
Completely different. It's one thing that a lot of people don't appreciate, because people have been told they're getting fibre from one of the big broadband providers. We're building a brand new network from scratch. So it's getting rid of all the old copper cables that are in the ground and rolling out a brand new fibre optic network, which means we can take people from having some of the slowest speeds in the country and some of the slowest speeds in Europe to having the fastest internet speeds in the world.
So what are the fastest internet speeds then? I never quite know, because I'm afraid I'm with Virgin Media. We don't have Truespeed in our area. So what are the fastest speeds?
So the fastest, if you're a business customer, we offer services up to 10 gig per second,
wow. Okay.
Up and down. For consumers, we offer up to 900 meg currently. So it's basically speeds that are faster than you could ever use, even if you're streaming 10 Netflix devices and gaming at the same time.
It's a bit like on your phone contracts, isn't it? It's now like 300 gigabytes of broadband data, and I'm looking at how much I use each month, and it's 4. It's kind of like, it doesn't really matter. I suppose for really high usage people, certainly business people, going up to the higher speeds will be quite important.
Oh, it's critical, and we've helped support big local companies like Thatcher Cider, Yo Valley, Charlie Bigham, areas that have been left behind from a connectivity perspective. We've put proper enterprise-grade connectivity solutions in for them, but we've got a package that suits everyone, right from 150 meg, which is enough that you'll be able to do most of the common things that you want to do, all the way up to 900 meg for a consumer to take.
That sounds amazing. Now, going back to yourself very quickly, you are CEO of Truespeed, and I love the thought process of each CEO is different in each company. What do you think makes you a good CEO?
You should probably ask my team that question rather than me. I think from my perspective, I view the role as very much about as we're scaling the business, about keeping all the plates spinning and removing as many bottlenecks along the journey as we possibly can, and thinking 2-3 steps ahead of where we've got to be. So it's identifying areas that you're going to have a constraint, and helping people work through that. It's also about empowering the people that work for you. We've got a really, really good team, which is rapidly growing. It's about making sure they have the accountability, but also the tools at their disposal to do their job, and also the kind of the cultural values of what we're trying to do as a business.
Yeah, and it does seem quite different. It doesn't seem, again, just doing some research for doing the interview, it doesn't seem that corporate, if I'm honest with you. It seems like a local business trying to do great things.
Exactly right. And there's two big things that people are frustrated about with their internet provider at the moment. One is the fundamental that the broadband isn't quick enough. They keep getting buffering when they're trying to do anything. But people are equally frustrated with the terrible corporate service that people have been getting. Like if you pick up the phone to speak to someone at maybe, I won't name names, but maybe your provider, you'll be sat in a queue for half an hour. You'll get bounced around. You'll have people trying to aggressively sell to you. We're trying to be different as an organisation. We're a local company. We give free connections to local schools. Our call centre is based in Bath. We've got a target of answering the phone within 30 seconds, with a real human being based here. And we're also not putting up pricing at a time where everyone else is putting through eye-watering double-digit price increases. I saw
all of that. It's literally every single company was going up by inflation plus X amount of percent, so average bills are going up 14 or 15%.
Yeah.
Which I didn't really understand why.
Because they can get away with it at the moment. Excuse me. Whereas we're holding pricing completely flat throughout the rest of this year. It's crazy at a time where everyone is feeling the pinch with inflation, with the cost of living crisis. We're trying to do a little bit to give back, and it's kind of within our ethos as a company. We want to properly live the true part of our name and do things truly differently for our customers.
That sounds amazing. Now, last little bit I've got for you here, and you may or may not want to talk about this part, but Jacob Rees-Mogg, how was he? Because everybody has an impression of what he's like, but you had the pleasure of meeting him in November. So, how was Jacob?
It was actually very nice. He's actually a very nice and personable person to meet. And he actually wanted to get hands-on with the rollout of our kit in the network. So we've offered him a job building our network. He hasn't got back to me yet.
Not yet.
Yet
is always the important word on that one.
It reminds me. I'll give him a nudge to see if he wants a job.
Give him a WhatsApp message saying, Jacob, we've got a building contractor that's just dropped out. Can you come and help? Yeah, I can't imagine him doing it too much. But it's lovely getting that local support though, isn't it?
It's vital for a business like ours. As we're rolling out in an area, the support from local businesses, the support from local residents. Because obviously, if you're building a brand new network from scratch, it has a bit of disruption. So making sure local politicians understand, local businesses, local radio stations who can help you get the message out is really, really important.
We will do our best. Well, we're going to talk more about disruption. We're going to have a quick break for adverts, and then we're going to come back with more from James Lowther, CEO of Truespeed. There's the amazing Kaylee by Marillion there. You're listening to Radio Bath. It's me, Richard Beauvoisin, here until midday today. So for the first hour, we've got James Lowther from CEO of Truespeed. So we're going to talk more about the actual company now. So we mentioned before the break about having free broadband for life. Is that something you go out to people to get, or can people come to you to ask for?
Yeah, so people. So this is something that we offer for schools and community hubs in an area. It's our little way of giving back to the community that we're building to. So we'll offer schools a free connection for life. When we reach out to schools, quite often people think it's too good to be true. I was speaking to the principal of one school who are saying to me originally they thought it was some kind of a scam, because you never get anything for free in life anymore.
I was just listening to Martin Lewis on the way in, actually, and he was talking about scammers and how amazingly good they are, and it almost does sound like a scam, but it's not.
It's not.
Great.
It's genuinely free, and it's not for a finite period of time. It's free for life for schools, because we want to help support our local community and local schools. So if there are any local schools out there who are interested in having a free connection, please get in touch with Truespeed, and we'll try to sort you out if we're able to pass you with our network.
And is it just schools?
It's schools and community hubs. So obviously there's a limit to how much we can do in an area. But if there's a community centre, charitable organisation, or school, please get in touch and we'll have a look at it.
No, that sounds absolutely amazing. Now, you spoke earlier in the interview about the fact that you're having to dig up some roads. Now, needless to say, that obviously doesn't go down well with everybody, but how do you deal with that?
So firstly, to reassure people, we don't dig up roads for the fun of it. So what we're rolling out is a completely brand new network. And in some instances, there's ducting, so plastic tubing in the ground that we can use. And we avoid digging up the roads wherever possible. But the network that we're replacing, a lot of it was laid in the 40s, 50s, 60s, and was just a cable just directly buried in the ground. So in those instances, if we want to get state-of-the-art broadband to people who are living in those streets, we've got no alternative but to dig up the roads. So trust us, it costs us more money to have to dig up the roads. We don't want to be doing it. And we'll try to keep things as short as possible, as neat as possible. If anyone does see anything which is they think doesn't look quite right, please get in touch. The advantage of being a local company is we can get out and we can fix any problems really, really quickly. As
you mentioned earlier, if you get in contact with some of the national companies and you're passed around from pillar to post, actually I feel already, just chatting to you for the last 20 minutes or so, that if I called up Truespeed, I'd get through to a real human being and it would actually probably get sorted out. And that's quite unusual.
Exactly right. And it's crazy that it's taken this length of time for companies to start to disrupt it. So we're here to hold the bigger companies to account and to offer people a much better service. So if you do get in contact with us, we will do everything we possibly can to fix it. If there's something not right with the works we're doing in an area, our build managers will jump in the van and they'll be on site within a matter of hours to address anything.
That sounds amazing. And you mentioned earlier about you're building the company as well. So kind of what are the future plans for the company?
Yeah, so I should have saved my Spinal Tap reference, because in the grand scheme of things, we're probably at about a 6, and we're now about to dial it up to 11. So at the moment, we've passed 70,000 properties. Our ambition is to build 500,000 by the end of 2025. So we're in the process of recruiting rapidly. We're scaling up our contractors that we work with, and growing across the piece. So as part of that, our recruitment drive, where if you think of a job, maybe not a nurse, but pretty much any other job, we're creating vacancies in the company at the moment. So we've got trainee planners, we've got installation engineers, we've got sales, marketing, customer service agents. So if anyone is interested in working for Truespeed and has got skills in those areas, get in touch, because we're constantly recruiting at the moment.
No, and it sounds like it's recruiting right across the board as well. So every type of job will be required as you go much bigger, I suppose.
Absolutely. So, and it's really rewarding as we're growing and creating jobs. We're creating jobs for people who've already got the skills, but we're also creating trainee positions to help give people skills. So last year we brought on something like 7 trainee planners to design the network. A lot of them had never done network planning before. And for some of them, it was their first job out of college. So it's a really rewarding way to help upskill people in the local local economy.
No, it sounds amazing. As I say, it sounds like a fantastic company, and if I didn't run my own company, I might consider coming and joining you. But
you're very welcome. You're very welcome.
You never know what I'm trying to think what my skill sets are. I'm a dance teacher normally, so but I do run a business, I suppose. So anything, you can never know.
I mean, I'm sure you could teach dance while also giving people customer support on the phone. Maybe
I could do. Yes, I have definitely done that before. So during lockdown, I ended up, because my business shut, I ended up being a customer service advisor for one of the local companies, and I was on the phones. And,
there we go. Maybe we can poach you away from Radio Bath to come and man the phones in our call centre.
There you go. You never know. Well, when we come back after the break, we're going to be having our quick fire round. No matter if you're CEO of anybody, then you still get the quick fire round. So we'll be back after this with James.
I've always been the one to say the first goodbye. Had to love and lose 100 million times.
There's Blue Monday by New Order. It's Radio Bath's Richard Beauvoisin. That's actually James's request. Really good track as well. I like that track a lot.
Thank you very much, Richard.
The other requests we couldn't play. There was too much swearing in it, but there we go. Right, we're on to the bit that they either love or hate, okay, which is the quick fire round. So yeah, thank you for coming in today, James. Hope you've enjoyed it so far.
This is the part I'm most nervous about of everything. I overthink things, so if I take 20 minutes to answer each question, don't take offence.
Well, I will, because we've got 13 minutes left, so it might be an issue. Right, here we go. What is your favourite ice cream?
Oh, salted caramel.
Oh, I haven't had salted caramel yet.
Oh, the Jude salted caramel, I can highly recommend. Did you ever used to have butterscotch Angel Delight?
Yeah.
It tastes a bit like that.
Okay. I always kind of find that one unusual flavouring, the butterscotch one.
Well, maybe you shouldn't try it then.
I like salted caramel though. I do like salted caramel. So yeah. And what was the make again?
Jude's.
Jude's. I've not even heard of that make. So.
Yeah, they're from Cornwall.
Okay, I will have a little listen to that. Are you tidy or messy?
Oh, tidy. Definitely tidy.
Definitely tidy. That doesn't surprise me if I'm honest with you.
But you can't see my house. We've just moved in, so it's very messy at the moment, but I like to be tidy.
Have you made a room that's Zoom tidy? That's Zoom tidy.
Oh, Zoom tidy.
Yeah.
From the waist up is tidy. There's lots of packing crates around the floor, but that's out of camera sight.
Do you love or hate roller coasters?
Oh, hate roller coasters.
Hate roller coasters?
I've always hated them from when I was a small kid. I hate the feeling of being out of control. I'm a bit of a control freak, which is probably linked to the job that I do.
It's I have to say, somebody said to me the other day, did I want to work for somebody else? And I was like, no.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. I like to be my own boss. Same applies to roller coasters. The roller coaster is in control, not me, so I'm not a fan.
Okay. Excluding social media or any music apps on your phone, do you have a favourite game that you play on your phone that you kind of while away the time on?
Not on my phone, but I am a bit of a gamer.
All right.
So my favourite game recently is Ghost of Tsushima.
I've never heard
on the PlayStation.
Okay.
It's a samurai game.
Right.
Set in a sort of fictitious sort of feudal Japan. So it's a very good game.
And what was that called again?
Ghost of Tsushima.
Ghost of Tsushima. Right. I will have a little look at that. Do you make your bed in the morning?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't. My other half does.
Oh, nice answer for it. So you're out first, are you, at the bed?
Exactly,
so,
yeah.
Yeah, so you're leaving him or her sleeping very nicely. So, yeah, all good. What's your favourite breakfast?
Oh, favourite breakfast? I like a nice healthy breakfast. So like yogurt, fruit, cereal, a nice like light way to start the day rather than anything too heavy.
Now I'm trying to work out. I've just bought Alpen, okay, which is muesli, which is healthy, theoretically,
but also I wouldn't really count it as food. It's more like grated cardboard.
Yeah, it is, but it's the chocolate version of it. So it's like I'm trying to be healthy, but at the same time have chocolate for breakfast.
Yeah, and it's probably not particularly tasty either.
It's all right. I mix it with Crunchy Nut cornflakes. So I kind of have two different breakfasts. I was introduced to the world of mixing breakfast cereals many years ago by a good friend of mine, and it blew my mind, just like having different breakfast cereals in the same bowl.
A breakfast cocktail you're having.
It was amazing.
I like the Dorset cereal granola, the nut granola.
Yeah.
It's really unhealthy, but it tastes delicious.
If you ever look at the calories on that, it's frightening.
Yes.
It really is. What is your go-to karaoke song if you were to do karaoke?
Well, I have a terrible singing voice, so I try to avoid karaoke wherever possible. I will leave the room if karaoke's going on. So what would my go-to karaoke song be? It'd probably be something simple, like Country House by Blur, maybe.
Good track. Yeah, it's not too difficult to
I'm
sing.
not going to sing if you ask me to.
I have asked people, and I've had people that are actual singers in this studio as well, and even they've denied singing their favourite karaoke song. So,
people, if I tried to sing, people's glasses in their house would break.
Favourite TV programme or film or a binge-watching thing that you do?
Favourite at the moment would be Succession. Not a very original thought, but the HBO show Succession.
I haven't heard of that one.
You haven't heard of it? You must be about the only person in the world who hasn't heard of Succession. This is the Brian Cox, massive, big-budget HBO show. Loosely based, very, very loosely based around Rupert Murdoch and the Murdoch family. It's in its final season that's airing at the moment. So definitely check it out before you get any spoilers. It's the most compelling TV show I've ever seen.
Wow. No, I never watch spoilers. I never watch the adverts or anything like that. I've always been of the belief that I want the director to tell me the story, not a marketing executive.
That's very good.
So yeah, that's always been my thought process. And your last question then, James. If you came back in your next life as an animal, which one would you be and why?
Oh, that's a very good question. Does it have to be alive today?
No, anything goes. This is, make-believe, let's face it.
I'd probably come back as a dinosaur of some description. So probably maybe like an Allosaurus or something like that.
I've never heard of an Allosaurus.
Think of like between a Velociraptor and T-Rex in terms of size.
Wow. Well, that is the most original answer we've had so far. So most people go for a cat. So.
Yeah. I mean, a cat's a bit of a boring answer, I think. I go dinosaur.
Dinosaur. Wow, you've set the bar.
I mean, Jurassic Park is one of my favourite films. So if I could be a supporting cast member for Jurassic Park, that would be pretty good.
Anything is possible. You never know what's going to happen. Remind us of the website again, please, James, of where you're from.
So it's www.truespeed.com.
Lovely. And thank you so much for coming in. It's been fantastic talking to you. I've really enjoyed it.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It's been great to talk to you.
No problem at all. And we hope to see you back in the studio soon.
Yeah, come back anytime.
All right, thank you.